Hello, my name's Keir. I'm Agent Keir from Footscray Lions in Division 1.
Hello there, my name's Ronnie. I'm manager of Hartford Rovers, applying our trade in the best division, Division 6.
Hi, my name's Lee. I'm manager of Orpington Eagles in Division 2.
Hello guys, my name is Blaine. I am the junior and senior manager playing in the W.E.S.F.A Premier Division.
Welcome to the W.E.S.F.A Constitution with me, Gibbs, and my panel of experts today. Start off with the self-podcast Division 7. Teams are AFC Sporting Greenwich, Avery Athletic, Bosco FC, Catholic Club, Greenwich Hotshots, Intercross FC, Lesser FXI, Rose and Crown Wedding, Springer Old Boys, Sig Cup FC, and Villa Pool. So Blaine, let's start with you. Talk to me about the division.
It's a lot of unknown teams in the division this season, to be honest. But there's a few names I recognise. I expect it to be quite competitive. I think there's a few teams in there that stand out for me. Like for example, I think Sig Cup, who we come across last year for PECKHAM, were a pretty solid team. I know we gave them a bit of a beating, but they were sort of young and quite energetic, and they did cause us a few problems. Avery Hill, we come across again. They're sort of a decent side, pretty awful management team if I'm being honest, but a pretty decent side in terms of the actual players. They gave us a few problems, so I can see it being close.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Alright, who would you say, who's to look out for in that division?
I think the main team to look out for, I think Sig Cup will be up there. Rose and Crown Wedding have got a few good older players. They'll cause some teams some problems. But the team that's going to win it from me, I think will probably be, as much as it pains me to say, I think Avery Hill will probably be the strongest team in terms of they have got good players. They gave us a good game in PECKHAM, being a league or two down. So yeah, I'll go for Avery Hill to win that one.
What about who's going to be propping up the division in your opinion?
Propping up, what you mean like at the bottom, Wigan boys?
I
think
Who's getting a pump in it?
I feel bad for them because they seem to get it from all sides, but I think Sporting Greenwich are pretty much going to be down there. They might not be bottom because I don't know some of the other teams, but they're going to be pretty low down.
Top lads though, top lads.
Yeah,
they are like,
To be
what
fair,
Sunday
they
League is
gave some
about.
amazing banner to Red Velvet.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, they did fair play.
I think they took it quite serious as well.
That's what it is.
And Borden Sports is the only team reserves on their resume that they've beat. That's the only team that beat Borden Sports
To be
reserves.
fair, a bit of a shit show, Borden Sports. It's not really a heads tight, ain't really a team.
They'll be better this season with decent management, to be fair.
Now they've got a good manager, they'll be a lot better, yeah, definitely.
Kia, tell us, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Blaine, that it's the sort of unknown teams in there, really. Sig Cup FC, they played Peoples in the semi-final, give them a good go. Rose and Cranwin, they've done pre-season with them last year.
Okay.
They got a good squad.
Good solid team.
Yeah, good side. Avery Hill, they played Peoples, didn't they? Catholic Club, they beat Peoples 7-1 the other day, so they look like they could be a decent.
Great.
That's
They
really
could
good.
look like they could be a decent club. So
Who are you picking to watch out for? Who's going to win it for you?
I'm gonna go Sig Cup FC. I know a couple of the boys that are down
Okay, fair play.
there. One of them, good striker, scores goals for fun, so especially in Division 7.
What about propping up the division? Who are you going for?
AFC Sporting Greenwich.
Ooh, 4 Greenwich, so that's 2 for relegation for them.
No,
Can't go any lower.
So, Rod, talk to us.
is there relegation? Relegation, is there? Where are they going?
They have to go to
They go back to youth football.
They're going back down.
They have to go to the Met.
Talk to us, Rod. What
Met
you
League,
say?
yeah, Met League.
For me, again, just echo what the other boys have said, is that there's plenty of teams in there with Rose and Crown Wedding, decent outfit. The Springer Old Boys, you can't discount them either. We had a friendly against them, and to be fair, they put up a fight for a good 60 minutes, and then I think fitness got the better of them. But looking at the table there, for me, I'd probably put it's a toss-up between, for me, Rose and Crown and PECKHAM as well. I think Greenwich Hotshots, they recruited well as well, so I don't think they're as bad as what they used to be. So I'd keep an eye on them as well, but again, AFC Sporting Greenwich, I think, down the bottom. I know you're going to ask me, so I might...
Who's winning it, Ron? Come on, talk to us. Who's winning?
I'll put my money on Rose and Crown winning.
Rose and Crown, yeah?
Rose and Crown winning.
They're not a bad team.
They'll be up there definitely.
Lee, what's your thoughts?
So again, I've got to echo your guys. There's a lot of new teams in there. PECKHAM, the most memorable thing for me from them is the guys around at the meeting. I don't remember much about their football, but I mean we were going on for 25 minutes about. I don't know what it was, but that was memorable. Sporting Greenwich, yeah, their banner's top quality, their football's bottom quality. I don't really know many of the others. W.E.S.F.A have been around for years. You know,
If they get a good side out, they can be a good side.
Yeah, I've seen them when they've got the best 11.
It's a consistency, isn't it? It's a consistency in the Sunday League.
Speaking of old boys, are going to know how to play Sunday League, and they're old, so they're going to beat the younger teams, I imagine. But Villa Court, for me, we beat them. I know we beat them in the pre-season. I think it was 6-1, but they weren't bad.
But they had a good result last week against New Cross last week. New Cross, the Sharks.
The
Sharks and the
Sharks,
quality teams as well.
We'll move on to that. But yeah, I'm going to say Villa Court will win the league.
Villa Court for you. Who's propping it up?
I'm going to go against the tide. I can't go against Sporting Greenwich. I think they're too nice. I'm going to go for.
We ain't asking for people to be nice.
No, but I don't think.
I almost feel like you're more insulting to them calling them nice.
I don't think it's like,
I'm not going to call you.
I think.
Nice.
You're too nice. You're going to get. No, I think generally they pick up a couple. They won a game last year. They picked up a couple draws. I think they're going to be better than W.E.S.F.A.
So you
they're
think
my bottom.
W.E.S.F.A at the bottom
of the whole WESFA, I'm saying.
W.E.S.F.A, and then you're picking.
It's a heavy
They
weight.
have big
Villa
shoulders. They have
Heavy weight to pull them.
Villa Court to win.
And Villa Court to win, yeah, for me.
For me, going off their pre-season so far, I'm probably going to say it's going to be between Catholic Club or Greenwich Hotshots at the top, to be honest. I know Greenwich had a good result yesterday against Ronnie's team, and they've had some good wins in pre-season.
They've recruited well. Admittedly, no, I didn't have my first team, man.
No,
that's my first team, man. We're carrying knocks, but listen, you can't take it away from them because they beat us.
They beat you on the day, and for me, as nice the guys as they are, but you've got to say Sporting Greenwich, going off their record of only one win since they've been in WESFA, are going to be propping up the division. So, all right, so that's Division 7.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Division 6, King of Hearts Media Productions, teams AFC Kingfisher Reserves, Bexley Village Vets, Catford FC Development, Chimera Reserves, Draper Close, Falconwood Reserves, Highfield Rovers, Las Cabras, the People's Reserves, Woolwich United Pioneers and Woolwich Common. Ron, as you are in this division, let's start off with you and grab your thoughts. How's it looking?
Straight in.
To be fair, for me, I think it's going to be one of the most competitive divisions. I think the new teams that have come in as well, teams like Kingfisher Reserve dropping down, the new Catford Development, I've heard some good things about them. Draper Close, you can't, again, top outfit, churn out decent results, hard grinds out the draws. It's exciting. For me, you've got the Peoples in there, the reserves, or...
New team though, will they gel?
Will they be able to gel through their players and into the first
I was going to
team?
say, if they're going to pull them out in the first team every time,
Or
maybe.
the third team, or the junior team,
Or the
girls
Met team.
Bear 11 yesterday, had to bring a 16-year-old up, didn't they?
He had a good game though, apparently.
No.
One of the best games.
Say no.
Yeah, Woolwich 90 and the Woolwich Common. So for me, I think, like I say, it's going to be a very, very, very competitive division. I can't discount myself. I'm paying for blood.
In 6, you've got to say.
Last season weren't happy with where we finished, so I'm paying for blood. It's nothing but silverware. I ain't sort of disrespecting any other team, but for me, I'm all about the W's this year. I'm all about the gold. I'm propping up
Who's winning it, Ron?
Me, mate.
You're winning it. Who's relegated?
It's,
Who's dropping to 7th?
for me, it's either Peoples or Cabras. I like Cabras, yeah, man. They're a good bunch of lads, but they get beat. Yeah, they get beat quite often. And it pains me to say because we used to play against them in the Bromley leagues, but like I say, it'll either be less Cabras or Peoples out, down.
All right, no more. Lee, talk to us.
Yeah, I'm going to be hard to go against Ron here because he's sitting right next to me.
Guys, I'm running into his bottle.
I'm glad he ain't got a weapon on him, but yeah, no. Kate, I think Kingfisher reserves. I think they're going to be tasty. They've got the best half of it, and they've got the better half of Kingfisher, and they've got really Danny King.
They've got rid of Danny King, which
so that's 20 goals up they are already from where they was at the beginning of the season.
It was 17, wasn't it?
They might be a bit colder, but they're going to have clean sheets. But no, in all seriousness, I trade the post again to echo what you say. They're an organised team. I think Bexley, going straight into who I think is going to struggle, I think Bexley really vets. They're a new side, but I think being a vet side, I think automatically you're at a disadvantage.
But listen, the Spring of Old Boys are allegedly vets, and they're not.
Yeah, they've got the right way, and they're in the bottom league. I think maybe they'd be my pick to be relegated.
Okay.
Yeah, they're my pick to be relegated, and I think to win it will be between Draper and Highfield.
Draper, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think Joe's.
Shout out to Joe on that one.
He's Joe, isn't it? Yeah, I think he runs it well. I don't know. I mostly rate people on their Twitter account rather than the football anyway.
I should be relegated.
Wait, if you go on that, Sporting Greenwich should be in the Prem.
That's why I said they won't come last. But I'm gonna go Draper and Highfield, sorry.
And then relegated what? Bexley Village Vets?
Bexley Village, yeah. With if people don't sort out their inner problems, I think then they may struggle as well.
Woo! Controversial
What do you mean by
kids.
inner problems?
I just think that everything I hear from them is one step forward, 3 steps back. But
Maybe a bit of more.
I'm only on the outside. I can't.
That's their business. Let's stick to what we're doing. Right, Kia, talk to us about that constitution. Come on, Division 6.
It looks like a good league. There's some teams that we know in there, some teams that are brand new. Falcon with reserves, if they're sort of playing some of their youngsters that they got in the first team, then they look to be a good side.
I think it was originally constituted in Div 1 or 2 though, weren't they? So and then
reserves.
yeah, and then obviously now they're back down. They're down in 6, but I
That's
don't
the problem.
see, you don't know. See,
I'll be checking the results in a minute on Twitter.
you don't know what they're
Are they playing on that little pitch as well?
I have no idea anything.
Their first team.
Yeah, because they're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Highfield Rovers. Yeah, they're going to win the league, I think. He ain't got any bottles in his hand. I think Highfield Rovers win the league. Good strong side.
You can go against me if you.
Yeah, of course, you just
Highfield Rovers going to go down.
I can win and get relegated.
Highfield Rovers, I think they'll be up there. Falcon with reserves probably up there. To go down, the People's reserves, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's going to be too much jumping in between
It's hard when you do
the two teams.
We didn't do it before, but they were trying to make it happen. I think it becomes just a lottery.
They got a side in the Met League as well, so they can dual sign. So I think if anyone starts doing well, then they'll start floating over.
Those players.
No continuity in the squads. Blaze, what are you thinking?
I think the People's Reserves will actually do alright. Their manager, Dan Conyers, is a personal friend of mine. And
Oh yeah, he's a good fella.
He played with me in the Prem about probably 7 or 8 years ago. He was at Elm Phoenix and he sort of done a job for us at centre back. And he's a decent player. If he plays every week, he'll be pretty comfortable in Div 6. He was with their first team last year, and apparently he sort of got told he's a reserve manager without too much of a choice.
I think I was at pre-season game last year when he was like, yeah, you are the manager now.
By default.
But if you're asking me what I think he's going to win it, I think again it's probably out of Kingfisher or Highfield. I think my first sort of viewing of Highfield was a 8-1 spanking against us at PECKHAM.
It haunts me.
So
It haunts me, mate.
I think it probably weren't too high, but the results since have been a lot better. So
Apart from last week.
Yeah, listen,
apart from last week, but we'll ignore that one.
What can you say?
Who's getting relegated for you, Blaine?
I think People's will be alright. For me, I'd like to see Chimera reserves go down just because I don't like Chimera. I'd like to see them go down. They've got a bad name.
That's a personal.
They've affiliated with a bad club, so they're on my
God,
head.
mate,
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more, you know. Right. For me, I am gonna go. Obviously, Chimera to get relegated. This is a terrible club. It's terrible. I'm just gonna put it out there. And then I think Kingfisher will do well. I think obviously Ronnie's going to do well this year at Highfield. I don't think you can rule out Falcon with reserves.
Yeah.
So I think that will probably be the top three chasing out of those. I'm not going to definitively say one winner, but I just think that would be the top three in my opinion.
Do you want a fence?
No,
I was
mate.
going to say.
This is a big old
Make it a short one so you can do it.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out there if you want me to.
Do it.
That's what we're here for.
Don't be diplomatic here.
No, I'm going to say Kingfisher reserves. You know, I've heard they've got a nice pitch at Crocodile. They've got a few new players.
Nice pitch.
Well, for that division.
Debatable.
Yeah, but for that division.
Do you know what it makes it better? It makes the defeat all the much sweeter when they get slapped on the nice
45
pitch.
degrees up to
If
you.
you stand at one corner flag, you can't see the game.
You have to proper goal kick it for the corner.
Right, but that is my prediction. So, all right. Next up, Div 5 Euroflow Limited. Teams Advent Mighty Rolls, AFC Beckenham, Beacons, Bexley Wanderers, Fox's Mirror, Eltham FC, FC Barker, Old Fortronians, Peckham Row Reserves, Red Star Northfield, and South London Athletic. Blaine, as from the right last season, talk to us about that division.
Again, it's another tasty division to be honest. I think Peckham Row Reserves will be way too strong. I don't know how you managed to get them in that division to start with, to be honest.
GBG, isn't it?
Yeah,
GBG.
Golden Gibbs has done it. To be fair, other than losing me, which is obviously a massive loss.
Agree.
They've lost Malik, they've lost Duke, they've lost goals.
Yeah, but they've got players like Bob. He shouldn't be anywhere near Div 5. You know that, I know that. He'll score 30 goals.
Who's Bob? He's deregistered.
Yeah, of course he is. For me, they'll absolutely storm that league. I don't think they'll struggle in this fight. I think they'll win that. Chimera, it would be good to see Peckham play Chimera, get a bit of playback. Going down, for me, I think Advent Mighty Royals from last season, they're just so unorganised. They're turn out 8 players most weeks. Their manager's in goal. The manager's a funny guy, to be fair. I remember he stamped on my foot, and I sort of I was like to him, come on man, like, watch out, what are you doing? Like, that's my foot. And he turned and looked at me and went, you stood on my foot. And I was just like, nah, this guy.
I've got to leave.
I just said, uncle, say no more. Like, no worries.
Say no more.
So for me, unless they sort their stuff out massively, I can't see them doing well. But it looks like a good league. It looks quite tasty.
No problem. Kia, talk to me. What are you saying about it?
A lot of unknown teams in there, a few new ones. Red Star Northfield there, I know a couple of the boys there, they're like an older side that played together a few years ago and got back together. South London Athletic, they're a very strong side, played them with Peoples last year, give us probably our only loss, I think it was. Don't know really anyone else in there apart from Chimera, I think they're going to go down. Peckham Row Reserves, I think they're going to do well from what Blaine's saying.
Sharks.
They might struggle in that.
They slapped us 8-1.
They should not be in that league.
They slapped us 8-1.
How you've got them in there, I don't know.
Nothing to do with me, honestly. Nothing to do with me.
One division up.
Are you not involved at all with the reserves?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What, like management side or just as a?
He'll be sending players down at the minutes.
No, how it works is obviously they've got their own.
Femi's doing
Femi getting 90 minutes tomorrow.
a quick 90 minutes against me.
They have their own managers. They've got 2 managers, Ricky and Ben, that are running it. But obviously, I'm there to help and lend support.
Mate,
and
Ben's
help
a
them out.
great player.
Grant Crofton, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send Gerald down.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're all one club and we're all part of it. But obviously, they're trying to get their feet wet in management. So Kia, what you saying? Chimera relegated. Who's winning?
I'm going with Peckham Row or South London Athletic.
Woo! What you saying, Ron?
Yeah, again, the division, I don't know many teams in it. For me, I'll keep it short and sweet. Advent Mighty Royals are going down. Again, the manager's a lovely fella, but so disorganised.
Oh,
Yeah.
so-
No.
Still brilliant.
So disorganised. And to win it, you up that, and it's not because Gibbs is here. Peckham are a good side. There's no two ways about it. So for me, Peckham, I think we're going to do really, really well.
How would you know they're a good side?
Because they was playing on the pitch next to me the other day.
Oh, okay.
Have
you ever played them?
about.
Then you're playing your first W.E.S.F.A game over again.
Ruined, absolutely ruined us. And there ain't no any different.
Is your striker still in my pocket now?
Well,
I don't know, I think he left actually.
Oh,
and signed for Peckham.
He left because he's here.
Everyone's signed.
He's left and signed for Peckham. I'll
We had
thank
to
you
sign
for
for Peckham.
the reserves took them.
there's no poaching around here. Right, Lee, talk to me. Tell me, Div 5.
Again, there's a lot of new teams. I think it's amazing the amount of new teams are in the league, to be fair, as a whole, in every league.
It's a testament.
To get a UEFA every week's going to be a struggle.
It's a testament
to
to
West
work
yeah.
and to their work on, but
Well,
again,
the whole committee there,
yeah,
it's a testament to them all.
and the teams within it. If we was all bad mannered teams and everyone was fighting, it doesn't go out to people and people don't want to
Yeah.
join. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's another. So I think Peckham Wide reserves obviously are going to be the competitive. They are Peckham Wide side. They've never not been competitive. Every time I played them, they've always been good. We played them before you become the superstar.
We had one each, didn't we?
Before
And
you paid people.
No, yeah,
we played to them.
we had a game one each. You beat us, we beat you, and then what happened in the third game?
I missed a penalty.
Oh,
I missed a penalty in the shoot. I don't know if that.
What happened, Lee? Hold on.
I
Just to catch a
literally-
myself. What
And that
happened?
was the canvas slipped and everything. I just got aggressive. I don't even
You
wanna-
missed the pen in the semi-final. and
You got sent off.
I got sent
I
off.
thought game was done.
You
I
was
thought game
2-1 up.
I made some mastermind changes, brought us back into it, and then we lost some penalties.
That was when you had Ric Flair running around.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah,
he's
well, to be fair, he's a good player.
He's a great player. Right, so go back to 5. I think Peckham Wide reserves will be competitive at the top. I think Chimera will struggle. Any team that has bad behind the scenes admin will struggle. So Advent Mike Royals again. If you turn up at 8 or 9, I mean, I would turn up and I'd walk home. And I would never play for them again. If you turn up to play for someone, there's 8 players. I'm going home. I'm not coming back.
I'd play.
I would go home. I'd go home. I'd say I'm
I've
sorry.
got way too much pride to actually have a fixture.
As a manager,
I think that's what keeps him going as
If you
well.
can't
Crying.
organise an 11,
Oh, listen, they get 11 by 45 minutes into the game.
To be fair, we did have their striker running around saying, "Oh, we've only got 9 players. Do you not need a striker?" Oh, it's just
He did ask.
"Nah, we're fine."
We weren't in the poaching game those days.
No.
I think they'll struggle. We played Beacons last year. They were very Sunday league side. They got a couple of good players, and I imagine they're a group of mates. That's what I see them. I say, I think they'll do okay. So Peckham Wide reserves are going to be top with South London Athletic and Mighty Wolves at the bottom. I think.
No problem. I mean, for me, obviously, I'm going to back the reserves, but it is a competitive league. And South London with Ben, I'm sure that they'll be competitive up there. As I said to you the other day, they started really well last year. They beat the Peoples, and then they just kind of towed away for some reason. But for me, they will be up there. But Peckham Rye reserves, and then for Advent Mighty Rolls for me are probably going to go down in that division. So yeah, all right, that concludes 5. Right, next up, Division 4, PECKHAM Division. Borden Sports B, Bexley Athletic, Bexley Hawks, Bexley FC, Danton Albion, Footscray Lions White, Junior Red Sports, Nottingham Forest, Cell, Shooters Hill Spartans, and the Peoples. Lee, go on, you start.
Oh, okay. Right, so there's a few more teams I know in here actually. To be fair, Footscray Lions, we played them last year. They're all right. They're okay. They've got some good lads on the side that I imagine are just building a better side. And I see them Sunday just gone after we played out with Lions, and they had a bigger squad, so more men in it, so they look like they might be up there. I think Bexley Heath, if they keep their striker, they'll be up there. He scored loads of goals last season.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's their
What's
striker?
his name?
To be fair, I ain't sure. I ain't sure who his name is, but I know they're very big on Twitter.
Is he signing for them this season?
Well, I don't know.
I heard
Let's
trying.
let's move on to the Peoples. I think they're going to be.
You ain't going to them.
Swerve.
No, but if they bring all their players, like we were saying earlier, if they have a couple of players do well in the West, in the Met, and a couple of players do well in the reserve, they might get pulled up to the first team, so they might do all right there. Shooters Hill
To be
Spartans.
fair, they've been spanked though, haven't they, the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was an
They
unexpected
lost,
one.
but they lost 8-3 to Palmer's, 6.
Yeah, but Palmer's
They should have
Yeah, but they were good, but they lost 6-2 to Portland Sports Reserves yesterday as well.
Yeah, like Luke.
Mark Dolby, the literally
Luke-
running
yeah,
the show.
Didn't Luke
Yeah,
get 4?
Luke.
He scored 4.
But if he got 4, take his 4 out of it, it's 2-2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then, yeah, but
He's done quite well.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're just starting again from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll go. So what we saying? For a winner, I'm going to say Bexley Heath, and then for relegated, I'm going to go
They're losing
for.
their striker.
I'm going to go.
He's
for,
going to Australia too.
I'm going to go.
And you go in Div 2.
To be honest, I really can't say who's going to get relegated.
Mate, you got to. This is the point of the
No
thing.
sitting on the fence round here.
That being said, don't worry about any fences, mate. Just still.
Okay, I'll go for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I think they've been around a long time, but I think they're dwindling.
Alright.
They're not good.
No, I think they're going. They used to be okay, but I think they're losing.
So Nottingham Forest to go down and Bexley Athletic to win, yeah?
Bexley Heath
Bexley
FC to win.
Bexley Heath. Blaine, talk to me.
Bexley Heath
sorry.
FC, sorry.
So I'm liking the look of Bexley Hawks, to be honest.
There's a lot of Bexleys in here.
It's
isn't
a
there?
lot of Bexleys,
It's very Bexley heavy.
Everyone's going to be going on
Away
game
game
after a
Hall
night.
Place. Hall Place is Sunday, lads.
All plays 10 o'clock kickoff every single week.
Pink does alright down there as well.
They've got a few players that I know quite well. They've got that guy that played against Soss that rattled the free kick on the crossbar.
Okay.
Plays for my Saturday side, the guy Chris Murley. He's another player that's way too good for that division. He could play top division if he wanted to.
What's his name?
No, don't say loud.
No, Chris Murley. He
I'll be
actually,
on Twitter.
for our Saturday side, he partners your boy Dan Wells at centre back. So he's, yeah, they're of the same calibre of player, to be honest.
Well,
So he's probably a level above most other players in that league, so they'll do well. They've got a few other big boys where they pump it up a bit long and they're a bit of a handful, in it, so they'll do well. So I think another couple of teams to talk about. The Peoples, obviously, Kai is doing his thing for charity out there. He's lost a lot of players, I know someone's taken him somewhere else. So he's not.
Yeah, this guy.
They're not going to be as
You absolutely ruined his first team.
I took them all there.
Yeah, that is very
They're my
true.
boys. I
That's
took
very
them all
true.
there. They're all going to.
They've got a few good players. They've got obviously that Raja guy is a decent player. He's got that bucket hat, and, and since he's got the bucket hat on, he seems to have become a new man. A bit more confidence, a bit more.
The last 4 months.
Yeah. So they'll be alright. They'll be strong. And they got. Do you know what? They've got one really good player. Some guy called Chris. Plays on a wing for him. Not you. No.
You only bang free kicks.
He plays on a wing.
Free kicks and 50
I can't see him winning it, but I think they'll be one of the teams to watch.
Let's move on. Ron, let's go to you. Talk to me, Ron. Div 4.
Yeah, before a couple of teams we've played before. Footscray Lions, pretty decent. They're well, pretty young, fit team. Nottingham Forest have played as well. I weren't aware that they was getting worse and worse as the season's gone on. A lot of Bexleys in there. I played Bexley Hawks. I think Pete does a good thing down there. But as much as it pains me to say, mate, Bolden always do well. They're always up there or thereabouts. So for me, I'm going to throw my neck on the line and say Bolden Sports B. And to be relegated Bexley just because they're bitches. I've never known a football team that want to win a league on points.
Say what you see, say what you see.
For me.
To be fair, they were complaining that they didn't win the league. But
But they didn't.
also complaining they got promoted.
But then also complain, but
That is
teams
quite
are
bad.
underneath them still had games in hand. So
Didn't they
you haven't
celebrate
won
as
nothing.
well? So
People's
Oh, mate, they
would have
bought
won.
champagne magnums for all sorts. What's wrong with that?
Bexley
So no,
already booked that
Bexley,
off for next year.
see you later.
Mate,
Bexley's
right.
done.
Bolden Sports B to win. Who
Yeah.
to get relegated?
Bexley FC.
Bexley.
Yeah.
Alright. Kid, come on, talk to me.
Drop
Drop Q out.
Div 4.
People's FC going to win the league, I reckon.
Oh!
Oh, look, I had a couple of bits. Bexley, fuck you, lot. Danton Albion, they're going to be alright. We played them in the cup. They weren't a bad little outfit. We beat them. Oh, the striker's going as well. FDE.
Where's he going?
Don't know.
I don't really know. Footscray Lions wise, got to stick with them. Obviously, we're Footscray, so I hope they do well. Don't really know many other teams in there. There's not really a bad.
Junior Red had a good result yesterday.
Is that Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, Ben Sheeran, isn't it?
He's good,
He's
isn't
a
he?
good player, yeah.
Yeah,
He plays
striker,
for
good striker.
Hartwood on the side.
He's good, he is.
He's a good guy as well. He's good.
You never really get a bad Bowden side, do you? I'm ready as well.
That's
I
the
never
thing
figure out
as
who's
well.
who. That's why I never pick any of them. So I can't figure out who manages who and who's who. Honestly,
Well, I believe Borden Sports B is a new team into
But
Borden.
this one's Eddie's team.
Eddie's
Eddie's
a
is a reserve, so
Well,
Borden
Sports
Sports B.
They beat
so-
our reserve yesterday 3-1.
Yeah. I call him Ginger Joe. Ginger Joe used to play for me last season. He was a centre back, and he threw his toys at the pram and then left us and started his own team. But he will churn out a good team. He'll always get 4 or 5 players, a core that all play together and can play in the higher divisions as well. So that's why I put him up there as well.
Alright, Keir, so who are you going for winning the league?
People's FC and then relegated Bexley. They've already got a relegation party sorted.
But what Bexley?
What Bexley?
Yes,
Bexley,
there's 12 of them.
Bexley Youth FC, and where they can get mouthy on Twitter and shit bags.
Alright, well for
At
me,
me.
I'm going to pick to win the league. I'm going to go for an outside and pick Shooters Hill Spartans. I just think with the people's getting decimated in terms of players and new people coming in, I don't think they're going to gel quick enough, to be honest, and the season's going to start. It's a lot stronger, the league, than they was in last year. And I think Bexley Hawks will definitely be in the mix as well. Very good side. For me, relegation, you know what, I'm going to pick Nottingham Forest, to be honest. They're just on like a steady decline, aren't they? They can never put a run of results.
Steady, mate.
Well, they can never put a run of results
They've
together.
gone from senior to Div 4 in about 18 months.
Alright, let's rephrase it. Let's go the rapid decline of Nottingham Forest. They can
awful
never,
decline.
yeah, they never run, like they can never be consistent or get results out. So I'm going to pick them. So yeah, Nottingham Forest for me. So that's Division 4. Right, ready?
3, 2,
Oh, no! Right, no more beers now.
Get playing the tango.
There's a Diet Coke.
Give me
There's
that
a Diet Coke.
Keep playing the tango.
Get Ron's out over it.
Yeah, one's that.
or blanket.
Division 3, the Mark W.E.S.F.A Sports Foundation division. Teams Abbey Mead, Borden Sports Reserves, Eltham Lions, Junior Reds Athletic, New Life United, Alperton Athletic, Rustlers, South Borders, Springham United Reserves, Welling Park Spartans, and Woolwich Royals. Ron, let's start with you. Talk to me.
To be fair, I'm probably one of the worst to come to start with because I don't know half of these teams.
Alright, Keir, talk to me. I'm joking,
Take
talk
it.
to me, man. Tell me, come on, tell me. Division 3, talk to me.
Listen, I've heard good things about Home Lions. I've heard good things about Junior Reds Athletic. Rustlers always have a good side. Springham again have a good side. They was in that division last season. We got relegated out of it. They went up a division rightfully, played well. Yes, Welling Park Spartans as well is another one. I've heard they're a good side. So it's a bit of a toss up for the two. I'd probably put.
Do you agree that Abbey Mead have been
Abbey
able to
Mead-
stay in that division?
I think the more contentious one is Woolwich Royals.
Yeah, I would say as well. To be fair, I think Woolwich Royals should have
They changed
gone
us
up.
for the league.
I know people do say this, but they, from what I know, they have lost players. I know it's a common thing, but
I mean,
you got to be able to be competitive in order to
I saw them on
sustain your
Sunday.
team.
They played on the pitch for 4 metres.
They lost 6-2
They had-
to
they
Norwich,
had- They
didn't
had most of their players last year.
Did they? But they lost 6-2 to
They had a
Barrow.
lot of the old Hornfield players that used to play.
Norwich ain't a bad side though, are they really?
Norwich have
No,
got-
definitely.
Norwich have
No.
got a few of the best players in W.E.S.F.A. in my opinion.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, but
But yeah, as well. There's a couple of new teams in there. South Ballers, not too sure about them.
Any
Well,
team with the name Ballers in it.
They're gonna be good.
I was gonna say for me again.
You have to
Yeah,
be good.
good.
For
That's a
me,
bare minimum.
that's it. Bolden, they churn out good little teams, and even at a bare 11, they'll fight. I'll probably go up there, probably winning out of 2. I have to say 2 if I'm honest with you. It'll either be Eltham Lions and possibly Borden Sports again. And then for me, going down at Woolwich Royals. Yeah, possibly.
Ooh, that's a rough one. Alright, no worries. Let's go, Keir. Come on, talk to me. Division 3, what are you saying?
Yeah, a few more recognised teams in there. Like Ron says, anyone with the name Ballers, you have to be good, don't you? Eltham Lions played Footscray last week in a friendly. They drew 2-2. So they're going to be good, they're going to be strong. So I'm going to say them probably to win the league. I don't really know anyone else in there. So I'm going to go with Eltham Lions to win the league and probably Woolwich Royals to go down.
Woolwich Royals again, yeah?
I don't know.
Rough night for Woolwich Royals. Lee, what are you saying about it?
Ain't as rough as the people, so.
I think Div 3 starts showing off the quality of W.E.S.F.A.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's when you start seeing the depth of teams there, because you've got Abbey Mead, Eltham Lions. I know Alton Athletic had come over from Met. They play at the same place as us at Craigwreck. They're a good side. Buster's always put out a good side, as mentioned. Spring Hill Reserves have a good side. Wellington Park Spartans are a good side. And Royals have got no arsehole, but they're a good side.
Keep the juice flowing.
No, I just mean that because I just think to not back yourself and to say, oh, we need to go down the league. I think it's just, I don't know.
I can never ask.
It's strange behaviour, isn't it?
You
You don't ask for it.
Listen, football's about opinions, and that's why we're here. So his opinion is solely his own opinion.
Yeah.
If you want to bash him up, take it up with him.
Oh dear. No, but I mean that in the nicest possible way.
It's an opinion, isn't it?
No, it is. No, because they battled with us last year. They was giving us heat on Twitter about they was going to win the league. In the managers' chat, they've been giving it. We would have probably won the league for like 12 months, and then 2 weeks later they're giving it. We need to go Div 3. I think that's a bit strange. But so that attitude leads me to believe they could come last. But I think New Life United will get relegated. I think.
They used to be in the top division.
Yeah, but they've gone down again. I think when you're falling, you're falling.
New Life, to be fair, they were in the Prem, they finished bottom, they folded, and then this is their first season back. They wasn't great, like, don't get me wrong, they wasn't a good team, but
Standard-wise, okay.
if you look at the league now, to be honest, what the Prem is now was nothing like what the Prem was 6 years ago. So they're probably
back in that Prem. That's when that Welling team just lost one. Like there was no way competitive.
No.
They just.
It's
that team that won the first 14 games in a row.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There was no competition.
Who managed that team?
I don't know, mate. I think was it Brownie? I think some guy called Brownie was running it. You know, I'm not sure.
The kit man, wasn't it?
No, but
Apparently, I heard a rumour that there was more Prem winners in that Welling team than the rest of W.E.S.F.A combined. Woo! That's just a rumour that I heard.
Alright. Rumours are vicious.
Rumours aside, I'm going to go winner. I'm going to say Welling Park Spartans. The only team to beat us last year.
Okay, and then
in the league.
And then Woolwich Royals relegated.
And then no, relegated. No, I'll stay with it. I'll say New Life.
New Life, yeah.
Relegated.
Right, Blaine, Div 3. What are you saying?
I'm saying, again, just echoing what's been said, South Ballers have to be good because you can't be called Ballers if you ain't good.
The best absolutely.
Yeah, but then if we go back to last year, what was the team? Blase Ballers. They weren't Ballers, were they? Let's be honest.
Nah, they weren't great.
They weren't Ballers.
They weren't terrible.
They weren't terrible.
They had a midfielder that just run the show. When we played it,
but they had a few midfielders that didn't run at all.
Yeah.
so yeah, it's all.
Let's be honest. When we played them, they was nowhere near.
No, they weren't good. For me, Abbey Mead lost their best player, John Woodcock, who played for the rep team.
Oh, has he?
He's gone to Sporting Club 10 to be 90. So he
player.
is there, like star man. He's a great player. I've tried to sign him a few times, and he's knocked me back.
He was in the rep side. Good player.
Yeah, very good player. Very good player. I rate him. For me, I think Borden Sports Reserves will win this league pretty comfortable. I think they got a striker in the league which is scoring a hat-trick every single game, 3 or 4 goals every single game.
Scored 4 against me last week.
This is what I'm saying, but this ain't new. He was doing this last year.
Yeah.
Who did he play for last year?
They dodged the Rider and Spring Hill. They never played any of the top.
If you've got a player that scores you guaranteed 3 goals a game, you're not going to lose many games. realistic.
The thing is, I don't know. I get like they say with the boys, you want to play football with the boys, but surely I'm surprised that a team higher hasn't come from him.
I think they are just mates.
He plays at a decent level on Saturday, so I think his Sunday football's just with the boys. He just
It's not as if you're making money on Sunday though, either, is it? If you go higher, you're leaving your pals, isn't it?
So what are you saying for relegation, Blaine?
Relegation. I can't go junior or res because they're part of the family, so I got to back them to stay up, even though I don't know if they're the better one or if the team in the lower division is the better one, to be honest. But they might struggle, but I'm not going to back them to go down. I'm going to go with New Life as well, just because they're the only team I've really played against and they weren't great, and I can only imagine they're going to be about 5 years worse off than it was last time I saw them. So for me, yeah, I think they'll be down there.
For me, when this league first came out, to be honest, I knew Eddie was stepping back and they lost a few players. I did think Borden Sports would struggle, but their results in pre-season, you have to hold up your hands. And when you've got a striker that scores goals, you're always in a game, aren't you? Because you can always pick
We scored 4 against them, and he still scored 4 more than what we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
but obviously, Mark's in helping them out as well in those players. He's still a quality player himself. So you know what? Thinking about things, I'm probably going to say Borden will be up there mixing it up, but I do believe that Welling Park Spartans and Woolwich Royals will be up there as well. So going between those three, I'm probably going to say Welling Park Spartans, but Borden close. And then for me, it's hard to say who's going to get relegated, but I'm going to pick Rustlers. Purely because over the last 3 years, they had a couple of teams now, they seem to have gone down to one. And their result, I don't think their results last year were too great, to be fair.
Another team that got rid of Danny King as well.
Another team that got rid of Danny
So
King.
they might be alright.
You know, there's like
Yeah,
90
90
teams in
lot
it,
better.
and Danny King's probably played for about 45, 50, and he's never been able to
For
sustain the
about a
club.
week and then he gets the shot.
Yeah, so alright, so that's Division 3, let's move on. OFC Division 2, AFC Kingfisher, B Young Stars, Elton Town, FC Forza Greenwich, Granite FC, New Cross Rovers, Alpet Eagles, Petswood Vultures, Phoenix Knights, Red Velvet and SEA Maroon. We're going to start obviously Lee, Alpet Eagles on the verge of signing the new striker.
I don't need no more strikers.
Talk to us, mate. How's this division going?
It's tough. I think again it shows off the quality in W.E.S.F.A. I think in terms of winners, there's probably a handful of teams that could all, if you start off well, can win it. I think obviously we'll be competitive. We've got some good players. We've got better again this year. We've done alright over the summer. Potentially got another couple to come in, maybe. Yeah.
Refer back to earlier in the video.
We don't really. The thing is, I've got lads in my team. I've got Jasper. He's absolutely quality. I've got he's a midfield who's I would say he's probably the best player outside the Prem. That's what I would say.
That's a bold
I
statement.
would say it.
What's his name?
Liam Fitzgerald. You can
Is
try.
he on Twitter?
You can try it. You pay him. He won't come.
I'm just saying, you know, there's FC Royals outside the Prem.
Yeah, no, I would still say I play FC Wolves. I play FC Wolves. The only reason they beat us was Stefan died for a penalty.
Oh, the reason!
It was 2-0 going into half time otherwise. Anyway, I digress. I would say, yeah, to win the league, I'm going to Eagles.
You have to back yourself.
All the way.
Beat your chest and say it. Say it with your
Say
chest.
it with your chest.
I'll say it for the louder for the people in the back. Alpington Eagles will win the league.
Who's getting relegated?
Relegate New Cross Rovers.
Oh! Baby shark.
I know you think
If they get relegated, the names on the back of their shirts.
that's bad. You have to find a way for D3.
You'd have to go back.
Yeah, you have to go Deliveroo.
Met League.
No,
Yeah,
Deliveroo.
you got to go Met
Ooh.
League.
You have to go Deliveroo next year. No,
Is that one? Is that? I say we put that out there now. If you
Nice.
lose, if you're relegated, you must wear.
Michael
Deliveroo
sings up
kit
in
next
the
season.
Michael and Charlie Packets will sort that out.
They've
They'll be
helped us
fine,
out.
they'll be fine.
They're great guys.
They'll be more than fun.
It is what it is. I would
Alright,
say.
so you've got yourselves to win the league and then New Cross to go down, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, Kia, let's go next to you. Division 2.
Obviously Lee sitting there. Alpington Eagles have been an ever-growing side for the last couple of years. Petswood Vultures, I know them very well. I know the manager, Chris. Granite FC, they're going to be a good side. They've got a good few players down there. Probably should be higher. Red Velvet, exactly the same.
Yeah, should be
probably be playing higher.
Probably should be saying this, shouldn't they?
Easy.
Probably to win the league, I'm going to go with Alton Eagles or Granite FC.
You're the new striker.
And yeah, new striker. What's his name?
I don't need a new striker. I've got just out. I don't need any new striker.
Win with D.
And don't listen.
Alright.
Alright. Alton Eagles to win the league. Petford Vultures with them. And I'm going to go with Falls of Greenwich to go down because I don't really know anyone else in that league.
They jumped up as well from free, didn't they?
Yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah,
They was the one that swapped with Willie
that shows a
Rose.
great attitude.
So
They're
they're
across roads as well. We've got them at the weekend actually, maybe Sunday, so should be a good game.
Alright, Ron, let's go with you.
Yeah, just echoing what the boys are saying as well. There's a few good teams in there. Alton and Eagles himself, the man here. Red Velvet are also going to be one of the teams that you're going to get a tough game every week. Tough game. But they'll turn up and they'll give 120% for 90 minutes. I know that. I've known Aaron for a long time. He's the guy scored with him. I know what he's about. I know what the players. Know what players.
Football friend.
Know what players he can bring in, what's got around him. I don't know much about the others, but again, what Blaine says, if you've got your names on the back of the shirt, boys, you best be good. So, but saying that,
They got it for free. I've got to say, it's a fucking quality kit.
Oh, it's a lovely kit.
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
Unbelievable.
It'll be the best kit in Division 3 next year.
He is saying it with his chest right tonight.
well, up there, listen, I'm going to go against the grain, and I know he's sitting next to me, and I love League of Pieces, but I think Red Velvet are gonna walk that league personally.
Yeah.
I think they're too good for the Division 2. And going down, I would say Elton Town. I don't know why. I don't know nothing about them, but I say Elton Town.
They're normally a strong side, so town sides.
We beat them. We beat them.
Fair play.
Can't be that strong.
Blake, what are you saying?
I'm gonna agree with Ron. I think Red Velvet will absolutely walk it. I think if they've got I'm just saying if they've got the players that they had last time. I played against them a few times with my Welling side, and they've got players that are sort of starting 11 for Brighton in the Scaffold Div 1. So if they've got them players still,
It's a hard one, isn't it?
it's quite a hard one, mate. To be honest, it's tough to.
I think they're aiming a bit.
It's
I
tough
think
to
they're
say.
aiming
But
a
haven't
bit
they
too
lost
low.
some players?
According to the,
No,
I think
they haven't.
What I'm saying, I heard originally they said they'd lost players and got put in a lower league, but they haven't lost players. They've got their full team, from what I've heard. I don't know for sure, but they've got 3 or 4 players that I would have in my team if they were available. So yeah, they got some good players going on. So I think they'll win it. I think Alton will be out there. Got a new striker coming in, he's going to bag a lot of
I
goals.
don't need no more strikers.
Another one.
Yeah,
Are you shipping one
I've
out?
got a goalie game.
I think Granite have had some good results pre-season. So they've
They got a strong side.
New Cross have got the names on the back of their shirts, and they've got a few Era from Belvedere players. So
Is there anything about
They-
Granite? Where are they from?
They beat
They
the
come over.
They used to be a lot of the old W.E.S.F.A boys, didn't they?
Okay.
They beat Red Velvet 2-0 last year in the cup
I
game.
think a few of them are the
I
Red
think
Velvet.
big young stars. I'm hearing they've got a few disciplinary
backs.
options.
They're an aggressive,
So they might-
aggressive side. Like you've been for a tough
You need a bit, but you need a bit of aggression on
They
Sunday,
could
mate,
potentially
but channel
face
it right.
a lot of cards, and you know what, Westford don't really stand for that, so potentially they might not survive.
If you don't play in the first 4 or 5 games, you're not playing.
But it's a bit like South Ballers, with a name like that, they've got to be good, and you can't be called that and be a terrible
Who are you picking to go down, Blake?
To go down, I'm going to say Elton Town, just because I don't know anything really about them, and the other teams I know are quite decent. Someone picked Forza Greenwich earlier, but fun fact about them, they were in the 18-19 season, they were, I think, only the 3rd team that didn't lose against my Welling Town side.
Where'd you find
They took us to 90 minutes in the
Just
cup.
got me there.
When it involves his team,
No, they took us to 90 minutes and Spawn Club Tenby's first team pitch. They took us to extra time. We ended up doing, I think, 6-2 in the end, but they took us 2-2 at full time, and that weren't easy. At the time, I think they were the only team in 6 months that didn't lose to us. So,
Jeff Stelling, mate.
mate, I know the details. You know what I mean?
Alright. For me in that division, I'm gonna say Forza to go down. Purely because they was constituted in Div 3, but I know they've backed themselves, and there's no harm in that, and I'm great that they backed themselves, but I just think that's a very competitive division. Orpington Eagles, obviously, Lee knows I always back the boys on the podcast and stuff, and we've had some great battles with them. Yeah, mate, they're a good side, honestly. I do believe it'll probably be between Red Velvet, Orpington. I think there's a lot of teams that could be in the mix in that division. Obviously, Granite will be in there. I think New Cross will be in there as well. You know, I know they took a bit of stick.
For relegation?
No, I think that'll be in. I think that's you're looking at the top 4. I think Kingfisher obviously have lost some players to the reserves. It is, and they've lost players to the reserves. And
I think they lost their best. Did they lose their 2 strikers? Them 2 fellas with the really unpronounceable names.
I'm not sure. I think that was. I think they might have lost 1 player, but
Who's that?
they might struggle. So Kingfisher could be near and thereabouts the bottom, but they have got a top keeper though.
They're organised, and they play on their pitch and they say no, it's
A few people have said that the Kingfisher keeper is potentially the best keeper.
In my opinion, is no outside of the top division.
Whoa.
I would say.
Have you seen my goal?
Have you seen me?
Have you seen my goal?
Alright, right, let's get rid of the egos, alright? I will say Red Velvet top and then Orpington second, alright? So, sorry, Lee, but that's Div 2. Right, so up next, Dance and Property Services Division 1, AWFC, Borden Sports W.E.S.F.A, Bulltarks, Blackheath FC, Crayford Arrows, Crayford Athletic, Footscray Lions, Meridian Sports FC, Mildeen, Mottingham Park Rangers, and Welling Town. Here, this is your division, so let's start with you.
It might be something you get back from Santa Fe.
For me, I'd like to say we do well. I mean, we took a lot of people from the Peoples, but I brought them over to there. So it's a lot of people coming from Div 5 to Div 1. So it's not a big step up in the terms of football, but it is a step up. So I'd like to say that we'd be up there. It's going to be tough.
Who do you think your biggest sort of your hardest?
From what we've seen on socials and that, Bulltarks seem to be a team that are out there.
It's another name though, isn't it, where you're suggesting you're good?
Blaine says a lot about a couple of their players in some of the group chats, so I'd like to see. It's good to have good competition in your leagues. So
You can never disregard Mildeen though.
No,
Welling Town are going to be good as well. They've got it's like the old Metro Gas apparently. I've heard of.
Metro Massive.
That's it. Metro Massive.
No, not there. The signings. They're the ones about
in the office.
Yeah, in the office.
That
was amazing.
Yeah,
that was
apparently some of them, but then there's
was
never
there signing
really
contracts as well for 10 contracts?
Yeah.
there's not really been a bad Welling Town side, has there? So
There was a Kev's side last year weren't great. They were alright, they weren't bad.
He tried to cover his own ass.
They were
It's going to be
okay.
a higher pitch.
They weren't. They
But-
were incredible.
I'd like to say we'd be up there.
Can you say it with your chest, man? If you're
Oh,
going to win,
yeah,
say it.
we're going to win it.
Yes, that's
Yes.
If you don't say it,
I think that's outrageous.
it. Who's gonna get relegated? Who's going down from that division?
Mottingham Park Rangers.
What? Ooh, okay.
I don't know who they are. But
They was up there competing last time.
AWFC then.
They're a good side.
I found them.
who's
You
going there?
know what? Blackheath FC I've heard are quite a good side as well, but Crayford Athletic are going down.
Okay, fair enough. Right, Ron, let's go to you.
Again, Borden Sports always turns out a good team. What Keir said as well about Bulltarks, there's supposed to be some decent borders for them in Division 1. Footscray Lions, I know what Keir can bring to the table when he turns up on a Sunday as well.
Thanks, Ron.
When the man single-handedly raises the profile of people's wrestling and the quality of the football, only to snatch it away halfway through the season to take it in his own direction. So, listen, the boys got a good squad around him. Can't take it away from him. I know Mildeen are going to be up there. I used to play against Tony Rawlins.
Tony Rawlins as
played against Tony.
Wait, lockdown was good to him. He lost a bit.
Oh,
He lost a bit. He
shit.
lost a bit.
He knows a bit sharp. But yeah, so up there, I'd say it'd be a good scrap between. I wouldn't like to pick one either Footscray or Mildeen. One of the two will win it. And for relegation, it's a good. I'd say Wellington. Good. I don't know much about the other teams. Crayford Arrows, I used to play against, or in the London against Suburban. Always had a decent outfit. But yeah, for me, Wellington, just to throw them under the bus a bit.
Alright, Blake, talk to me. What are you saying?
I think it's between Footscray Lions, Baltarks or Mildy, to be honest. I think Mildeen have got the smart heads on them, mate. They're going to be...
They've always had a good
They're
squad.
some big team.
They're going to be hard to beat. They're going to score a lot of goals.
But they can mix it up though. They're a physical side as well.
But they can play at the same
they're
time.
quite
They gave obviously Borden in the senior league a bit of a spanking a few weeks ago, and
Is that Billy's one?
yeah, they gave him an absolute battering. Yeah, I think he didn't have the strongest team out in his defence.
He never has his strongest team out.
He's got a lot of unreliable players apparently. Obviously Baltark, I know a few of their players quite well. A few of my ex-players, so they're going to be a strong team if they get their full team out every week. And then Footscray, you got a few of the first team players, didn't you?
There's a couple that have stayed, yeah.
So Footscray, when they were in the Prem, it was a shame because half their team was really good and then half their team just weren't showing up. So they struggled massively, but there was always a strong Prem side until that last sort of 6 months where they sort of fell away. So they'll be up there. I'm going to go with Footscray to win it, to be honest, because I don't think Baltarks will get their best 11 out week in, week out. But I think Baltarks and Mildeen will be a close second and third.
Yeah. Alright, what about relegation?
To go down, probably I'm going to go one of the Crayford sides just because I don't really know enough about them. I think the other teams I know are good, like Morton and Park Rangers are quite good. Wellington, I've got a lot of history.
What about Meridian Sports?
I
They got someone reserves.
No, Mildeen were coming over and Mildeen were going to be Meridian Sports Reserves.
Yeah.
But obviously they're going to play.
I'm going to get off the fence. I'm going to go with Crayford Arrows. I'm going to go down.
Okay. Lee, what's your opinion?
Again, quality teams throughout. I don't know a couple of the teams. Baltarks, obviously, if playing Stan, they've got good players. That means they've got good players. Wellington are going to be a good side. Morton Park Rangers have been around for years. Footscray will be okay. Obviously, Keir's got players and players and players. He can talk about for days. I think to go down, I think again one of the Crayford sides. I just don't know who they are. I think they're struggling with the established sides. To win it for me, Mildeen. I think they've been doing it for years over and all.
They're a strong team.
I'm not sure where they play at home, but I think going away to Mildeen, like you say, they can mix it up. They can play
Do they play at club? Do they play at club?
Club only, it might be. I think it might be.
Sure.
They always had a good crowd as well. They was at Quay Valley, weren't they?
I think they'll win points and be high up in the league just based on purely from the.
Remember one of my first adult games was against them. Like, come on, I got subbed on for Footscray, and one of the defenders come up, and I must have been 17. Got his finger right up my arse. I said, "You're mine." I said, "You're mine."
You're mine. I own you now.
So yeah, no, I'm going to say I'll say Mildeen will win it. Footscray, I think you'll be when you get your squad together and when you start playing and stop taking holidays. I think you'll be alright. And Baltarks again, but I think is it their first season? So I think they'll struggle to get their established level until probably past the winter time when it's crappy weather and no one wants to get out of bed.
Are they a whole new team?
They're all boys that have been playing together a long time, but their best player, who in my opinion is probably one of the best players in WESFA, a guy called Lauren, is playing abroad in Sweden at the minute, so he'll be here like a few games.
Is he going to want to be motivated to get up on a
No, he's
to go Moynihan playing fields
when I used
for
to play
Keir to go through him and never in his career.
like, Keir won't get near him.
No, with a tackle.
But
50-50
like I said,
early
he'll be there 2-3 games a season, so it's not really going to be a big factor in this.
So they can probably bank on 6 to 9 points this season.
Yeah, I'll still say Building win the league.
Alright, for me, I think Footscray and Mildeen will probably be at the top fighting it out. I think Blackheath will be in and around the mix, but AWFC have been around a long time as well with some very good players. I think Borden Sports W.E.S.F.A struggled last year, and I think that they'll probably struggle again this year, to be honest, with the competition.
What team is that?
In that league? They was in the senior last year.
That's the one we played with people.
And Billy's...
Is that Billy Dolby's?
No, Billy's mom was in Div 1 last year, and Borden Sports W.E.S.F.A was in senior. But Billy's mob are better than that mob, I think.
Yeah, we played them with Peoples. I think we spanked them, so they were shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they were shit.
Yeah.
So I think that Borden Sports W.E.S.F.A will probably struggle. To be honest, you've got to be honest.
We did five during the senior. We turned up and took the piss.
I think Ball Talks, it's alright having the name and reputation, but you've got to get everyone out of bed and motivated on a Sunday morning. If you haven't got that reliability or people showing up at 10:30, you know what the other teams are going to do to you. They're gonna pick up on that early, and they're going to think, look, you're taking the piss. You're showing up at 10:30, like you're going to turn us over. So I think probably Footscray, Blackheath, Mildeen probably at the top, and Borden Sports W.E.S.F.A to go down.
Well, no straight winner, no.
No straight winner.
Got to pick one.
Got to pick one. My controller just sitting in the middle.
Alright, for me then, I will pick... I'm going to go Mildeen.
Yeah.
Alright.
Good.
Right, the business end. Senior division, Happy Bellies. Happy with Argyle. It's always happy. Borden Sports A, Blackfen and Nearest Athletic, Burridge Blues, Duchess of Kent, Falconwood, FC Royals, Northern Eagles, Rising Talents, Sporting Club Thamesmead 90, Woolwich 90. Blaine, start us off and get us underway.
Okay, so this for me is the strongest senior league I've ever seen. I think it's probably
A lot of good stuff.
It's not a lot worse.
Mate, let's be honest, it could actually be a Prem division on its own.
That's what I'm about to say. It's not a lot worse than what the Premier League probably was 3-4 years ago. It's up there. I think.
Was that when Welling won?
Nah.
Oh, okay. So it's just us.
I know we didn't win the Premier League. It was good, did we? We won a crap Premier League, right? So
Can only beat
we'll talk about the Premier League. I want to talk about the Premier League. For me, you got no weak teams in there really. We played Borden, Blackfen and Northern Eagles pre-season, and it was 3 different but equally tough games. Northern Eagles were probably unfortunate they played us with a full squad when we were sort of stepping up through the gears, whereas the other two were a little bit cold still. So Northern Eagles got a bit of a beating, but we were impressed with what they did. I think they're not going to be one of the top teams this year, and I think fair play to them, they stepped up to a higher league voluntarily. I think they'll struggle, but I don't think they'll be relegated, but I think they'll be sort of bottom half. Relegation, I'm going to go with Falconwood, and it's probably.
Wow.
I'm going to tell you why. They're a great team. We had 3-4 of their players come for their trials for the rep team, and I was impressed with all of them. But they're all about 19-20, and I think when you're in a tough league against older players that are experienced and know what they're doing, younger players will struggle.
Disappear.
Not because they're not as good. I don't think they'll be worse than teams in that league, but I think a little bit of discipline, a little bit of experience, they'll start to struggle a little bit. I think Sporting Club Thamesmead 90 will be up there because they've got an absolute outstanding squad. They've got some players in there that are outrageous. If they're there every week, they'll be up there. But for me, I'm going to back FC Royals. I think Don's had a bit of trouble this year. He's obviously had certain managers hounding his players and sort of.
Right, let's clear it up. All at the table.
Blaine's talking.
Wait, we are all at the table.
Let me finish.
Alright, go on.
He's had some players that were massive players for him, obviously taken, and they were offered all sorts of stuff to sort of jump ship and go somewhere else. So he's obviously had a bit of a hard time. But you look at his pre-season.
If you think you can offer a grown man a t-shirt and a bag, and he's gonna and he's gonna come and he's gonna sign, you're crazy.
Don's got. He's one of the.
Don's well connected.
Yeah,
Don will score goals. So for me, they'll win it, but it'll be tight. I think Sporting Club Thamesmead 90 will be up there. Duchess of Kent shouldn't be taken lightly. I don't think they're a good team.
But I know that a few of their players have dropped down to Borden
They
Sports
might
B.
be, but they kept hold of a guy called Kieran Pallet, who's an absolute baller.
Yeah.
Absolute baller. So
Thanks for
they'll be
finding
alright.
out.
But for me, yeah, Don will win it, and I'm going to say Falconwood, just because of the age thing, they'll struggle and they'll go down.
Alright, well, Let's just swing it back over here a sec. Let's swing it back this way. Let me talk. Right?
Gibbs has not gone second yet.
No, mate, this is it.
You know Gibbs is coming.
Gone last every single time.
Don's a good guy.
Yeah.
FC Rolls are a good team, but let's clear everything up while we're on video now for everyone to see. We didn't request anyone come play for us. We didn't text anyone. We didn't ring anyone. And if you know the players that have left
We all know.
Don's team and maybe looked for a different venture, you will know they're not players that you can entice. They're the grown men. They're not silly kids. They're grown men. So I'm going to leave it there. Right. So for me, Sporting Club Thamesmead win this division. Rising Talents, I think, will definitely be up there. They're making a lot of noise. Fair play to them. They was offered 5th division over Alperton and Bromley, and they chose not to. They chose to come.
Is that the team that played Barnwell yesterday?
Yeah, and they chose to come. What was the score? 2-1 to Arnold. But they chose to come senior division, and they actually wanted Prem. So fair play to Rising Talents.
They'll be comfortable in it.
Yeah, I think Thamesmead, Rising Talents, FC Rolls, Falconwood, top 4. But Burridge Blues on their day, if they get a good team out, will beat anyone. Billy, Borden Sports A, if he gets his players out, they're gonna be a good team. But he don't get his players out more often than not. So
if you're reliable lads.
Yeah, Blackfen and Nearif, good side. They merged. Obviously, they're giving people games. You drew one all of them in your first game.
They're organised as hell. They defend really well.
Yeah.
And they ping a long ball, but it's not like an aimless long ball. They ping a long ball, but like it's direct. It goes to the target. They play it in the space, and their strikers just chase everything. So they cause us a lot of problems.
Fair play.
They won't be up there, but they won't struggle.
For me, I think who's going to struggle this year is Woolwich 90, purely because the New Cross Sharks stole half their squad.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about stealing in that division, then you've got to go to Michael and Charlie packets. They will tell you who's leaking players.
Would it not make sense for them to swap
Yeah,
divisions?
I think they should, because Woolwich 90 could be New Cross
If
Rovers
New Cross had anything about them, they would go up to the
The only thing
senior
with Woolwich United, they've got an absolutely
the
outrageously good striker. The manager's son, so I'll never leave. Danny Edwards is a baller.
Okay.
He scored, I think, 30 goals in the Prem last time I was in there, and they were bottom, so that tells you how good he was.
Okay, but can he play against 11 men on his own? Or? Have they got a team?
He scored against me every single time he's played.
Fair play.
So.
Right, well for me, Woolwich 90, fair play to you lads, stay in the senior division, but I think they're going to struggle, and I'm going to go Thamesmead 90 to win it. Now I've stopped sweating, and we'll pass over to Lee, yeah? Right, Lee, will you talk to us?
Again, shows off the quality of W.E.S.F.A this league, doesn't it? There's quality in every team. Abbeywood, I don't think anyone's mentioned him, but playing Jay on the wet day at wherever he plays will be a hard game for anyone. If FC Royals don't win the league, I'd be surprised. It's surprising they're not in the Prem, but they lost some players.
Why do you think they lost?
It's been boring.
But everyone loses players, doesn't they?
Don't sound like Gary
In these instances, actually, why did they lose players?
There's a team in Division 4 that's about to lose a player.
I think every
Was that next year?
But I think every team loses players during the summer, and the idea is that you bring players in to try and match the calibre of your player. And Don won't let them down. Don will get some good players in, so they'll win that league. I mean, I've been very surprised they've done. I will go against. I think Falcon would be really good in that league.
Yes, I do.
On their pitch, which is tiny little AstroTurf.
Is it Erie School?
Is it Erie School?
They play at the old school.
It's tiny. It's
Falconwood. Yeah. So,
but they play anyone there. I guarantee they give anyone.
Harris Academy, Falconwood.
Yeah, that's it.
What is that? That's not where UTI used to play, is it?
No, they played at Erie School.
But yeah, no, I would say Falcon would play anyone at home. They'll give anyone a game, so they'll be okay just from home games. Away they might struggle, like you say, they're young. So on a wet pitch at Mottingham Park or something like that, they might struggle. Duchess of Kent. I mean, they could have got up last year, couldn't they? Was they challenging for the senior?
I think they was top 3, weren't they?
No, they was top 2. It was them and Roy. It was
Yeah,
top,
so
top
they
They were above Royals.
They was top at the time. I think Royals had a game in hand.
One game.
I think so.
So for me, if I just look at the league, I would say struggling. I'm going to go with Gibbs. I'm going to say Woolwich 90 are going to struggle because they've lost a few players. I never thought that was that good anyway. So they're going to struggle.
You've got something against his Woolwich team?
No, I don't. And
going.
I also think Northern Eagles have been very brave. I mean, I watched them play a game against Bexley when they was in our league last year, away on a big pitch, flat surface, AstroTurf. I wouldn't have said they was that keen to beat us in the league. I wasn't that worried they was going to beat us in the league title, and we haven't requested promotion.
Would you prefer grass or AstroTurf?
100% grass. 100%.
Grass is tackles, isn't it?
I just feel like it's Sunday league grass, isn't it? I just feel like that's.
AstroTurf, you have to Vaseline on.
AstroTurf.
That was your line then to say, I don't know, I never smoked that.
Sunday league.
There's been a dry day when I have.
Alright, so
I've won a few leagues on AstroTurf.
Yeah.
I think you feel really good
Grass.
side, AstroTurf suits you. So like Falcon Woodford to want to pop the ball, that suits him. They come down to Craig Beck to play us. They beat us off the park. I think we had to walk off because we ran out of players. No, seriously.
Who did?
We ran out of
Eagles?
players. Yeah, Ilkington Eagles against. Our goalie went off injured. I died. Someone else. Like, we had like 7 players. We had to walk off the pitch. They were beating us like ridiculously. But you
So
bring
they
him to Cray.
as
You bring him to Cray. I would say we'll give them the game. I imagine anyone would give them the game. It's different, isn't it? Like Blaine was saying, they're all kids. It's going to be so different on a wet pitch. So they'll be in the middle for me. Struggling will be Woolwich 90 and Northern Eagles. I'll say Northern Eagles get relegated. I'm going to say to win the league, FC Royals, hands down.
Okay, Keir?
Like Lee says, no one can really write off Abbeywood like, oh, no one fancies a little trip down to Abbeywood today. You drive into there, mate.
So you're more,
No one fancies a trip down to Abbeywood. FC Royals, obviously Don's a good player himself.
Yeah.
He's got the players, he knows what he's doing. He can have a good team.
What do you think about his players leaving situation?
Mr. Still Your Boy over here.
Mate, Don's a
No one was stolen.
Don's a good guy.
I didn't steal
And
anyone.
you know, I spoke to him the whole way through.
Yeah.
We didn't steal anyone.
Yeah. Are you and him cool now?
I'm about to think so. He's messaged me a few times. I've messaged back. There's no hard feelings.
I'm just checking.
If there is hard feelings, I don't know about it.
He wanted to get him out of the group chat as well, do you know?
That's why he ain't been speaking for.
He's the admin of the group.
Is that why it's not true? Oh.
That's why.
Yeah.
What betrayal was
I've stole the group chat. I've stolen
I stole his phone.
Gibbs stole his data.
Just took the numbers.
You don't give me a bad name.
You give yourself a bad name.
Mr. Steal Your Data.
Sick guy.
I ain't stole anyone's players.
Burridge Blues, like we say, they have got some really good players. They're older, but they are a very good side. Falconwood, they're young, they're enthusiastic. I'd like to think they're going to give people a good game on AstroTurf and grass. They're young boys, they probably ain't old enough to go out on Saturday night yet. So,
Yeah.
so they're going to be alright for the Sunday, I reckon. Thamesmead, they're going to be a good side. The team they've got down there is ridiculous.
They've got
Williams brothers, Gannon, yes,
Outrageous.
Keisha had the knee injury, wasn't it? Or something.
He'll score 30, 40 goals.
They've got the Williams brothers down there. I'm going to go with Woolwich United to get relegated, so I don't really know much about them, and New Cross Sharks have taken all their players. So I'm going to go with FC Royals to win the league, closely followed by Thamesmead, 90.
Okay, alright. Well, let's wrap up the senior division then and move on. Let's spice this up now. Supreme and Engraving Prem Division. We are at the business end, best of the best, top of the top. AFC Brixton, Barnhurst, Bayswater, Jam, Junior Red Seniors, Oddfellows Arms, Woolpit Rovers, PECKHAM, Springer United and UTR. Blaine, you've been there, done it. Let's talk to you and you start us off.
It's almost like this is my division, really.
Oh, your name on it. Yeah.
I've won it a few times. I don't know if you heard.
It does say the Supreme Punk Premier Division, so it probably is.
Yeah.
The Supreme trophies.
I've got
you won them.
I've got a few Supreme trophies
Yeah,
back in my window, so
you won a few of them.
Nah, all seriousness, this division for me is massively exciting. I think everyone can agree there's 10 very, very strong teams in it. I think no one really knows who's the favourite, who's the weakest.
Strongest one for a while, I think.
It's the strongest one I've seen. I'll be honest with you boys, like, I've been involved in WESFA for probably 11, 12 years. Always playing in the Prem, obviously.
Where was your last season?
Yeah, well,
Division 5, I know.
You had a Euro.
I was doing you a favour last year, weren't I?
Thanks for me.
No, but in all seriousness, it's the strongest league I've seen. I think every single team's strong. A few new teams coming over, like all putting on bricks, and that add a lot to it.
That's a good thing as well. Like.
Yeah, there's always been weak leagues normally, weak links in the league. Normally there's sort of 5 strong teams, 5 weak teams, but now I think Brixton are going to be a handful. I've seen them play a few times. I'll be honest with you, I'm not overly impressed with the quality, but in terms of their physicality, in terms of their work rate, their energy, they'll give anyone a game. They're in everyone's face. They play at Mottingham playing field, which is not nice for sort of ballers to go to and play. So you go play them at Mottingham.
Do you know what? I did hear though that they've got the home pitch at Turnley Road in Dulwich. You know, just round the corner from where we was last season. At Dulwich Sports Ground.
I heard they're still playing at Mottingham.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
That's what I heard, but I suppose Dulwich gets
Let's
full.
check the
Playing
hand.
Woolwich and Elton playing Dulwich.
If they're playing Peckham or you guys, they're playing at Melton Park, mate.
Yeah.
Bring it down to the
Then
We
obviously
love
Barnhurst is like my Achilles heel team. Played them 4 times, lost twice.
Mate, they're old
They're
boys
just
that
horrible,
play
isn't they?
They're horrible
so
to play against.
simple
Like,
football,
it's
man.
playing
But
against them is not enjoyable.
No.
Like you're coming out with stud marks in your shit.
Old school
You really are.
footballers.
But refs love them at the same time, so they'll kick you and the ref will say, that's not a foul. And then it's like, you're looking at the ref like, are you joking? So they'll be, I think they haven't got enough in their locker to challenge for the league because they've got sort of older legs and they're falling behind a little bit, but they'll be out there. They're not in any danger of going down in my opinion.
Did you see the Twitter thing where they announced what they was going to do and they announced...
Oh, they're drinking at
No.
training. Fair play to Steve.
Under the radar, I think I've gone a little bit under the radar this year. No one's really talking about them, but they're still, what do you call them?
Puns. Got them
Puns.
puns.
Oh yeah, got the puns of days. They've still got obviously. I think Sam Bailey's still playing for them at the minute, and he's
At the minute?
What was that?
He will be.
I think that he's been on to Bailey, you know. You talk about stealing players.
I'm
He
not on to
told
anyone.
me. He's been check his DMs.
I'm not on to anyone.
He has
but
been on to
I'll
Bailey.
say for a fact now, I'll put my house on him being the league top scorer this year. He'll get 40, 50, 60
Oh,
goals.
Femi.
But he get
Yeah, he'll score more than 30.
What, you
Yeah.
got more than that?
You say that now.
Why don't you kids have a bet?
I'll bet you
now.
anything you want. He will score 50, 60
bet-
goals.
Right,
£100.
you know what? I'll lay 50
£100.
with you now. Femi scores more than Bailey.
No chance.
What?
Right, 50.
Yeah,
Easiest
there you
50
go.
quid.
50?
Easiest 50
Mate,
quid I've ever made.
Bailey gets subbed after 60 minutes.
At the minute.
And then
Oh, that's a done deal.
Femi, don't let me down. Right
So-
now, 50.
So UTR will be up there. Other than Sam, they got other good players as well.
Do you think that would, I don't think UCL will be up there winning it.
I'm going to say the winners, and I'm going to have to back myself and say Junior Red Seniors, just
Well,
because we've been there, we've done it.
You having fans there?
Is it only fans left?
Only fans or?
Nah, not in a minute. We ain't got any fans in a minute. No.
Why you got red flame? What's the matter?
Nah, hey.
He's flustered.
Hey, boys, look.
No!
I'm going to back us to win it, because like I said.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
So obviously I'm back in Junior Red Seniors, my own team to win the league, because I think we're in it to win it. You're not going to be in the league and
Where was your ground this season?
We're looking at Cold Harbour and 4G at the moment, but they're closed. So they basically, a few months back, they said I could have to pitch, and then they shut down for lockdown. So I'm not really going to have to confirm the booking. But I'm fingers crossed. I'm hopeful. Otherwise, we'll be somewhere not so nice. But
There's a lot of people in.
we'll see.
They're playing there.
So I'm going to back us to win it. We've been there, we've done it. You know, a lot of my players. I think every single one of my players have won stuff in WESFA, so they know what it's all about.
What about relegation?
Relegation, I think, so in my opinion, the weaker teams in the league, I think, are Brixton, Jam and Spring Hill. Spring Hill lost
It's
a
a
few
hard
players.
one, isn't it, to pick?
Yeah, I think Spring Hill have lost a few players. Jam, I'm not going to say are going to go down because they're like the old underdog story, aren't they? So they'll always pick up wins against good teams.
Could be a sticky game plan then. Though.
Yeah, I think it's between Brixton and Spring Hill. But sticky. I think it's going to be between Brixton and Spring Hill. Brixton for the main reason of, I know they're a decent side, but anytime I've seen them, they've not really impressed me. They didn't win the Met League. They weren't looking like they were going to win the Met League. So for me, they're not going to come in and do really anything special. In
If they didn't win the Met League and then they came over to the W.E.S.F.A, then automatically won. It don't look good.
That would bite
I'll
you
tell
too.
you now, I'll bet anyone again, they are not finishing in the top half of West Ham.
You can't afford any more bets in these
No
sections,
chance.
mate.
I'm gonna go Spring Hill for the main reason they've lost some good players. They're probably the weakest team in the league starting off anyway, and they've lost a few on top of that. So I think they're struggling to go down. But I think Brixton and Jan will be close behind.
All right, no problems. Kid, what are you saying about this top division?
It's a very strong Premier League. Probably the strongest I've seen since I've been probably playing adult football. It's been a year now. I'm gonna go straight in and say Jam to go down. I don't know why. I don't know how they get results really. They have got a good side, but
On their day, I don't know if they have their day enough, but on their day when they get a lot of players out, their right players out, they are a good side.
They're another team that turn up at 11:15.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. When you're there at half
it is
nine,
a strong league. I mean, if Junior Red Seniors, if all their players subscribe, they can have a good side. Under the radar, they were strong last year.
You want some water, Blake? You look flustered.
I'm alright. I've got a beer.
Under the radar, they're a good side. The man, he's got a good team over there. Alter Rovers, friendly up front, play friendly on the Saturday. Geezer scores goals for fun. He will score goals.
They're another one that come over from real
He will get goals.
He's an outrageous
If he
striker.
didn't go to bed for a week, he'd still score on Sunday.
Honestly,
He's an outrageous striker. He played against us in a rep game. I think he's 5.
I think he's injured.
I
I
think
think we saw him Sunday.
he done
He,
that.
Saturday he done striker land on his foot and defender land on his foot. So about 4 or 6 weeks out. So he probably missed the first month.
They'll probably be back to playoffs.
A bruised toe.
He won't be. They'll
No, he
get.
won't miss
They'll get
another
Peckham
game.
right now.
He's probably gonna miss them first 4 games, I reckon.
I mean,
He's got 6
he'd
weeks
be
out.
challenged.
I'm going to be texting Michael later on, sorting out the fixtures
Yeah.
so we
He
get
will.
home and away first 2 games.
I'll have a bet with someone now that he will be in that top 2 top goal scorers.
Say it with your chest, not top 2.
I'll
Put it out there, say 1.
quid, he'll be up there.
Mate,
One, not 2.
50 quid.
Yeah, he said Bailey. He said Bailey will
Here's
have
what I'm
scored.
going to say. Bailey's going to be top scorer 100% because he'll score.
Lee Prem will be up
He'll
there.
score 50,
top
60,
2.
and then my striker Pat will be a close second.
Alright, so he's saying top 2.
Who's that new
Lee-
striker
Lee
you're
Prem.
striker, Lex? What about
Lee
your
Prem
own striker?
more than score 50 quid scores more than your striker, Pat.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm going to be out a lot of money, so.
I was going to say, that's a ton.
I would go Leeds.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, I know.
I've never seen someone score a goal. I'll ping a dodgy pass and he will make it into a good pass and
Yeah.
chip the goal in.
He's a ridiculously good striker.
It's a joke. Peckham Rye, obviously, Mr. Poacher boy over here. Has poached a lot of players and I can see him doing well. They've got a ridiculous amount of
They
players.
got a lot to learn really quick.
You're
I don't
not
think they
there.
have done.
No.
Like being
They've got
diplomatic.
Tony Baines. Tony knows
no,
it.
no.
We'll say Tony knows it all, but what does he want?
But he knows
Alright,
it.
easy on standard man right there.
Tony knows I love him, but what does he want? What does he know? He doesn't know it all. He hasn't won nothing. What does he know?
No, but he's
What's
been
the
around,
players
so
want?
it's not like Peckham or
What have the players
starting
won?
the Prem.
What have they won?
I would say Fenny's probably
What
one
div
of
was
the-
they in last year?
Prem. No, it was in the Prem.
What did they
Lovely.
win?
Yeah.
What are they
I
doing?
think Bayswater will be up there though, because look at last season. They was up. They signed
Bayswater.
Bayswater- another team that just
Dean.
trying out.
Bayswater Lions, they
so
signed
many
Dean.
players. I feel for Kirk because he's such a good guy, but he's lost so many players. They're going to
Have they still got Dean in the middle? You know, the Alfred, he was at first grade last year. He makes a game.
They've lost the American. He's gone. They've lost Milo, one of their better players.
Yeah, they still got Billy down there.
He's just at his
Billy
second
Marcus,
baby as well, isn't he?
yeah,
So
Billy
like,
Marcus,
congrats to that lad.
Yeah, well done.
They got their striker Tunde back with a handball, scored a lot of goals.
So,
They still got their defenders. In my opinion, they got one of the best defenders in the league. They got Lenny and Fenno, both played for the rep team as well, starting, and they're both absolute animals at the back. So they've got a good base to feel
why
from.
would you say Mike Maguire's up there as one of the best defenders in the league?
Because why?
Is he
Not
not
bad. Ben Maitland's another one in there
He
from
played for
Peckham,
England,
mate.
didn't he?
I played with Ben.
Are you talking about the Royal? Are we on your lips again?
Well, you're on everybody else's because you keep nicking every people's players.
Your lips are on everyone else's picks, I'm telling you.
While we're talking best defenders, I reckon I'm the best defender. if I'm being honest.
Best defender.
I think my boy Tony Robinson's probably the best defender in the West Ham.
Okay, alright.
I don't know any team he don't start for. I'll be honest. Ryan's up there.
He wouldn't start for us.
He definitely would after that performance.
He definitely would have. But when you saw us the other day, we was mixing players. You got to think. You can have an opinion, but off one game, he wouldn't start for us. And Ryan from
I feel like Eddie Hearn.
That's your opinion. But again, I don't think he don't start for us.
Yeah, he does.
Mickey Maguire is just.
Mickey Maguire's quality without.
He's a
He's
quality
mustard.
centre.
I'll play with him. I'll play
Just
with
a
him.
quick question.
But-
Here's one for you. Is Mickey Maguire having nightmares about playing Auburn for friendly to ruin him again? After that rep game, where
Not at all.
friendly killed him and scored 5.
Yeah, but you got to think when
Is he having
that
nightmares?
league guy played, that was
To be
an
fair,
established
Mick's
side.
not nightmares.
Mick was part of a rep
I'm
side.
talking one-on-one striker.
Yeah, but he was part of a rep
I'm
side.
just asking the question.
If he knew he had people around him.
All put on looking at that fixture review, like licking their lips. That's all.
Mate, I'll be honest, after what we saw yesterday on the next pitch, we're fucking licking our lips, don't worry about that. That is
Well, friendly
you're
kicks
you're
on
absolutely crazy.
I just lick my lips because they get sore.
He nibbling it. He bites to everything.
Mate, I don't bite to
You
nothing.
say one thing about Peckham.
And to you, I'm happy to give you all praise. When you put us down, I have to nibble.
No
You know?
one's putting you down, mate. We rate you.
Listen.
If I stopped on
Hey, I've got your back. I've stuck up for you here.
Yeah.
So in this league, I'm
Stuck
going to go
in
with Jam to
here.
go down. I'm going to go Jam to go down, and I'm going to say Junior Reds and Peckham Riot battling it out with Lee Friend being top goal
I heard
scorer.
Bexley for losing their striker though as well.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Let's leave Bexley.
Let's leave
Alright,
Bexley back down at the
let's,
pure party for the promotion.
Let's go on, Lee. What are you saying, Lee? Let's talk to me.
Prem, I think we should all just for a moment celebrate how good the W.E.S.F.A Prem is.
Outrageous.
Yeah, it's mad.
To the committee.
Yeah, well done. I think when people talk about Sunday League football, everyone goes Alderson Bomb is that is it the senior they have as the top one?
They're seniors,
They're
top.
backwards, but they have the senior one as the top. Yeah.
No one knows
Everyone
anything after that.
Everyone says that they're
After
no,
the
everyone talks about how good that is. I think you give us 2-3 years for this league, this constitution to settle down. I think that Prem is nearly as good. I don't think it's all on YouTube, but I think it's nearly
I
as
think
good.
if you put 10 against 10, the 10 teams in here and the 10 teams there, I don't think we come off badly.
No, I don't think.
I would agree. I think the job that's been done, recruiting teams and again I mentioned teams and member teams already in the league where we've portrayed ourselves out to people. People have looked at it and thought these are quality, and this just says that we're going places. It's going to be good. Like Alderton Rovers, for instance, they're a quality side.
Yeah.
Lee Friend's brilliant. I really rate him. I don't think they're going to cover the top half. I think Spring Hill will be bottom. Jam will be sandwiched between we'll be sandwiched between Spring Hill and about like Alderton Rovers. I think Alderton Rovers are really good, but the teams in that league are phenomenal. I think your junior red side. I think the team you're building at Peckham is ridiculous. I think Barnhurst are just one of those Sunday League teams you don't want to play.
Nah.
If you get drawn against them, you're like, oh, for God.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
and I think it's one of those,
Yeah.
when the announcement goes out in your group chat, I think 2 or 3 people don't come. It's just one of those games.
I've got a few
like,
players that already told me not to call them when we're
Yeah,
playing.
they don't know. So I think
Maybe
they'll be
they
up
won't.
there. I think Bayswater will struggle. Again, I don't know them personally, but
Alright, so for me, I'm going to pick Brixton to go down, and obviously Peckham right backing us to
got
win
back
it.
yourself.
And
So your chest gives.
I say it with my chest. I'm not Peckham.
No,
I'm not standing up, so I have to breathe in. But I do think junior red seniors will be up there as well and under the radar as well. It won't be easy, and anyone in that division will beat anyone on their day. There won't be a team, like we said, that
Stand up.
blame like when he won it before. They won first 14 games. No team will do that in that league.
No.
Everyone will drop points and take points off each other. And if you win that league, you would have at the end of the season you deserved
It, yeah.
Well, chaps, that brings us to the end of the Constitution. I thank you all for your time tonight and wish you all good luck in your respective leagues this season.
I think it was upset sliding in the end.
yeah. Hit me up on Twitter.
At me.